Hi there, friends of Caliente. I'm Matt, the Beverage Director, and I'm here with Scott, the Field Sales Representative from Bell's. Would you like to say hello, Scott?
Hello, fans of Caliente. My name's Scott. I am the Western Pennsylvania Field Sales Rep for Bell's Brewery, and I'm really happy to be here, enjoying some great beer and some great food today.
Well, we're very happy to have you here. We're actually going to be telling everybody about our April Brewery of the Month, and that, of course, is Bell's. So I think the first thing we'd like to do is introduce the beer. We're going to be featuring Oberon. Some would say like the quintessential summer beer. It won't quite be summer yet, but I've seen the sun shining here the past few days, so it looks like things are looking up. Do you want to talk a little bit about the statistics of the beer?
Yeah, absolutely. So Bell's Oberon is, in our minds, also the quintessential summer beer. It is an American wheat ale. It clocks in at 5.8% ABV, so very easy to drink. We also associate the beer heavily with baseball, so this is the perfect time for it to be released. We're just about to start the season here, and it's very low on the bitterness scale, 25 IBUs or so very smooth. A little bit of a spicy hop character due to the Saaz hops that we use in the beer. Citrusy as well, but there is no actual fruit added to the beer. Our house ale yeast does all of the work for flavoring.
Yeah, I snuck a sip while you were talking there. I hope you don't mind.
No, not at all.
Yeah, also got some of that spicy cloviness that really plays off those Saaz hops really nicely.
Yeah, you also will get some pineapple notes in there. The orange notes, of course, very familiar to a lot of beer drinkers out there.
Yeah, I think it's just a nice mesh because it's not a sweet beer. Some of that residual wheat flavor has that sort of chewiness, really holds up the fruit flavors that are there though. And again, you have the noble hop, Saaz hops, the hops that have been around for centuries. It's just it goes really nicely with the flavors of this beer and really contributes, I think, a nice crisp, sort of refreshing finish to it.
Yeah, we think Oberon is a really well-balanced beer, so you're not going to be overwhelmed one way or the other, but the flavors are definitely there they stand alone, so.
Yeah, it's great, and we always like to kind of give everybody out there an idea of which Caliente food that the beer would pair well with. So, summer in mind, and this is it's a light-bodied beer, but not a light beer. I mean, like I said, it has that chewy kind of mouthfeel to it. Really kind of like coats your mouth, but not in a bad way. I mean, it's still nice and crisp and refreshing. It's just something that if you haven't had it, you really got to try it. We each picked a dish here, like we tend to do. I picked our classic white tomato, and very similar to I think the Oberon, lighter in flavor, but not light. There's still a ton of flavor from the butter garlic sauce. You get tomatoes that have a full range of flavors from umami to sweetness to tanginess, and then the couple types of cheese we have in here: mozzarella, provolone, and then Parmesan on top to get more of that umami flavor. And again, I mean, kind of. There's wheat in the crust, of course, in the wheat flour, so it just plays really nicely. And then, Scott, you got one of our brand new chicken sandwiches.
Yeah, I went with the classic chicken sandwich. I love just a lightly breaded fried chicken sandwich with some pickle and some mayo. It's a classic that goes really well with Oberon, the lightness, the moderate body. It's just very conducive. It's definitely a good combination.
I think we should dig in and let all the folks out there know what we're tasting. So help yourself to the sandwich there.
All right.
So what are your first thoughts?
Well, I think that the chicken sandwich, it doesn't have that heavy fried battered aspect going on, which plays really well with the Oberon. This is an easy to eat yet flavorful and delicious chicken sandwich, and the Oberon is a great pairing with it.
Nice, I'm glad to hear that. The light, crisp herbal spiciness of the finish of this beer goes so nicely with the tomato. Just kind of every aspect of this. It's rare. I think for me, or food pairings in general, to I don't want to say not pick out a specific flavor, but it's just kind of the overall aspect of this pizza. All different flavor components and all the different flavor components of the beer, just like they just go together really, really well. They marry really, really well. And I honestly don't think I could have picked a better thing on the menu to pair this with, to be 100% honest. The one thing we always like to talk about here in these, like to get to know you a little bit better, I guess. So how did you, I know you've been in this industry for a while, but how did you end up with Bell's?
Well, I started out, I was living in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania in about 2000.
We won't hold that against you.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. 2005, or I should say 2003, and I didn't have a job, and one of my friends was like, hey, I work at a restaurant, why don't you come work in this restaurant? So I started working there. 17 years later, I decided to leave the restaurant industry, and I became a wholesale beer rep with Vicini Distributing Company, the company that represents Bell's in the Western Pennsylvania market. And then I was there for 2 years. After that, the opportunity to come work for Bell's came up, and I applied. Got extremely fortunate and got the job. And so here I am, selling one of my favorite beers to Western Pennsylvania. I also went to college on the border of Michigan and Indiana, and so I was fortunate enough to drink Bell's beer in the early 2000s. So I developed,
Nice.
I had an early love for the brand that I now work for.
Nice, that's awesome. That's a fantastic story. And it's just, again, I mean, to get back to this beer in summer, I mean, they go hand in hand. One of the things that we haven't mentioned yet, or specifically I haven't mentioned yet, is what we're doing with the Brewery of the Month. Now we're focusing on Bell's Oberon. Obviously, Bell's has a lot of great beers, so it's not just limited to Oberon, but we're going to be selling the Oberon on draft specifically in these big 22-ounce glasses for $5 all month long. If you're familiar with our typical Friday special, it's a $5 22-ounce beer. Well, this is basically every day of April is a Friday if you're drinking Bell's Oberon. But not only that, and I'm glad you brought up baseball. I mean, now's the time of year everybody's thinking about the good things and the bad things. Like baseball's great, relaxing on the front porch, having a beer. This is that beer. But also then you have yard work, and I might be a little crazy. I love working in the yard.
Me too, yeah.
One aspect of working in the yard is having an excuse to drink a beer while you're working in the yard.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think this, I don't know, what do you think?
Well, I mean, I
1
think
to 10.
Well, 1 to 10 as far as a great outdoor summertime beer, I have to put it up there as a 10.
I agree.
But if you are out there just being in the sun and being outdoors, there's hardly a better beer for this time of year and moving forward than Oberon. And it really kind of is like a kickoff to summer for so many people. When I see it finally on draft and in cans and bottles around, in my mind, it's like, well, we're crossing the threshold. Like, we're breaking through into like summertime, and this is the beer to do it.
Well, and with that in mind, we're going to be also selling growlers. This is a 64-ounce Caliente branded growler. We'll fill any growler, though. Bring yours in, by all means. We're going to be selling, it's also an introductory price of $19 a fill. So come in, grab a pizza to go. I recommend a classic white. And grab a growler of this. Like I said, bring your own in from home. We'll fill it. We'll make sure it's nice and clean for you and sanitary. We're still taking all the precautions that we need to make sure that it gets home to you safely. Bring it in, we'll refill it. We have these also for sale. But I can't think of anything better than if you're not going to dine in, you can still take some Caliente home with you and some Bell's Oberon. And I think that's a winning combination.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? If you've got some yard work lined up, grab a growler of Oberon. When you finish up, get your radio out, throw on the baseball game, sit on your porch, and it's almost like you're there.
Yeah, and one of the things, I'm lucky enough to live in a neighborhood with friends who live in the neighborhood, and I've got a nice big front porch. So, I'm going to take a growler of this home. we'll be able to sit 6 feet apart from any friends I invite over and have a nice, safe porch sitting session.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for this. I can't hardly stand. I love the sunshine, and I love beers that go well in the sunshine. And I think we've got it. Well, Scott, is there anything else that you'd like everybody to know about Bell's, about Oberon, about yourself?
Yeah, well, I mean, as far as from the brewery standpoint, we had some really nice honors this year. For 2020, we were again voted #1 brewery in America by the National Homebrewers Association members.
Wow.
Two Hearted Ale was voted #1 beer in America for the 4th straight year in a row as well. For us personally, Oberon is our second best-selling beer. Which is wild because it's a seasonal. It's only available for a certain amount of months. Basically, we try to keep it. Baseball season is what we say is the availability of Oberon. Nationally, it is the 23rd best-selling craft brand.
Wow.
Which
out of thousands and thousands.
Out of thousands, and yeah. And we have a great relationship with the people here in the city of Pittsburgh. And we've been selling beer here for 25 years. People know Bell's. They trust Bell's. Our quality control is incredibly high. We're committed to putting the best product that we can in the market, and I'm just really happy to be able to represent them out there.
Nice.
So, and honestly, like having partnered with Caliente gives so many people the opportunity to drink this great beer, just because of so many locations, ease of access. Like the service has been great. You guys really do your part to put the quality out there as well. So,
we love beer as much as we love pizza, and we love pizza.
Yeah.
And something we've been acknowledging is that you've got the best brewery, Bell's Two Hearted, best beer in America, 4 years in a row. Coincidentally, Caliente, best pizza in America for about that same time frame.
Yeah, right.
Unfortunately, the competitions of 2020 were canceled for us.
Sure.
But the 3 years before that, so nobody unseated us in 2020.
Sure, yeah.
So I would say 4 years in a row, Caliente
Absolutely.
is also the best pizza in America.
I think we can go with that.
And Bell's Two Hearted, to mention, Bell's in general is a brewery of the month. We are also now selling Bell's Two Hearted 16-ounce 4-packs to go. And you could come in and mix a 6-pack anytime. Lots of Bell's beers to pick from. But if you want a 4-pack of Bell's Two Hearted 16-ounce cans, it's $12.50, 365 days a year. $12.50 for that 4-pack. Take it home with you anytime. But in the month of April, you know what? I think it's a good idea to do both. You can get a growler of this. You can get a 4-pack of 16-ounce cans.
Yeah,
it's underneath the legal limit there, so you can take them both home. Sounds like a great idea for me.
You mentioned that you guys have a brand new spicy chicken sandwich on the menu, and nothing goes better than like with spicy food than a nice like hoppy beer to just like really cut to the heart of that spice. So you've got options with the sandwiches, you've got options with the Bell's beer. You really can't go wrong.
Wow, I couldn't have said that better myself. Thank you. Well, thanks everybody for joining us today. Scott, do you have anything else you'd like to add?
No, get out there, enjoy this changing weather, and enjoy a delicious Oberon wherever you can find it, but specifically from Caliente.
Absolutely. Well, as always, if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and looking forward to seeing you next time.